It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I dig it a lot. A lot of people, they don't even realize that watchmaking schools exist anymore. So it's always really great to kind of cover the profession and talk about what the industry is like. Okay, 1 second here.
I'll pop back in a bit, but I look forward to hearing what you have to say.
All right, thanks, Sean.
I gotta go check out some other people.
Okay. All right. Hello, Rachel. Let's see. All right, so I'm just gonna jump into it here. Welcome to the Watch Technology breakout room. My name is Jimmy, and as I mentioned, I'm the program coordinator, as well as one of the instructors. We have 3 instructors total. I also serve as an advisor and help students through the application process. So I'm really excited to present the Watch Technology program. We don't typically do high school outreach events. So we're really interested in seeing what the participation is like and if this is something that we should keep on doing. About myself, I am a graduate of the program. I've been a watchmaker in the Seattle area for about 8 years now, and been teaching for actually around 4 years. So the Watch Technology Institute is located at North Seattle College. It's a 2-year full-time program, so it is a big commitment. Students are in class 36 hours a week. We really feel that this amount of training is necessary for students to be successful in the industry. What's nice about the program is that you are employable as soon as you complete the courses. There's no extra schooling required. Some students are able to line up positions months before graduation. So, if that's a big attractive point about our offering here. So we are the only watchmaking program on the West Coast. We're the only watchmaking school that accepts international students here in the US as well. We also allow veterans to attend the program on the GI Bill. Okay. Students come from not only the Seattle area or Washington State, but also from Oregon, California, the Midwest, pretty much all over. We do get a lot of inquiries from Canada. We're pretty much the only English-speaking watchmaking program that they can attend here. We are one of just 6 watchmaking schools in the nation. Most watchmaking programs are owned and operated by the watch brands themselves, so attending them can feel very corporate or cold. We are one of the last watchmaking programs still attached to a public educational institution. So this means that as a North Seattle College student, you get access to financial aid, tutoring, counseling, and a lot of other great support services. There is high demand for watchmakers across the US. Pretty much if you're willing to relocate, every state is looking to hire. Right now, there are a lot of openings in California, Texas, Florida, New England, as well as the Midwest. Right, so watchmaking is interesting. It appeals to people on many different levels. We have people who are attracted to the craft through the artistic aesthetic side of things. Okay. You can also make watches that are incredibly complex, watches that can tell you not only the day of the week, or it can tell you like leap year, leap day perpetual calendars, all sorts of really interesting ways of presenting different aspects of time. Other people get attracted to watchmaking through what watches represent throughout the years. People attribute watches to historical events or like major events in their life, and that attaches a special meaning to it. So it's great to work on watches that are really treasured by people. Okay, and then sometimes it's just nice to work on something really, really expensive or fancy. We live in a society where really kind of nice, hard to get things are highly esteemed in the culture, and being able to work on these timepieces makes some people feel really special about what they do as a profession. All right, so some attributes that we find our students have are good dexterity, okay, hand-eye coordination. People who have a high attention to detail tend to fit in well as watchmakers. As well, since we are focused on repair, being able to problem solve is a key characteristic. If you like puzzles or like to play things like board games, that could mean you would enjoy watchmaking. Watchmaking is also a job that requires a lot of independent work. In the classroom, you're with a bunch of other students, so you can collaborate. But when you're out in the field, working professionally, odds are you will be working either by yourself or in a very small team. As well, watchmakers love tools and equipment. There's pretty much, there are like thousands of tools out there for watchmakers. So for some gearheads, this could be the profession for you. Right, so as far as subjects that we cover in the program, we deal with many different types of watches. We deal with quartz battery-powered timepieces, all the way to mechanical automatic watches, so watches that don't use a battery. They just work off of the motion of your hand. We also do more complicated mechanisms, so chronograph movements, as well as things like moon phases, calendars, and whatnot. Not only do we focus on reassembly, assembly, and repair, but we take a look at things such as precision timing, which is how to get a watch to run really accurately. We also deal with some external issues such as casing of timepieces, refinishing, which is like polishing of cases and bracelets. We do some manufacturing, which is making components and our tools from scratch, essentially. Okay, we also have a module on customer service. So if you're thinking of working as a store level or retail watchmaker, we'll run you through what that process is like and how to be successful in that profession. Right, and so there are two outcomes in going through North Seattle, or in going through watch technology here at North. So we offer a certificate in watch tech that is 164 credits or 8 quarters. Our cohort starts in the fall, so typically late September. And as a cohort, you will be with the same group of classmates for those 8 quarters. Those 164 credits comprise 24 watch tech courses. If you were to pursue the Associate of Applied Science in Watch Tech, then it's 184 credits. So it is those 24 watch tech courses plus 4 general education courses. So students who don't have prior degree credits to transfer over will typically take an extra quarter to do those gen ed credits. But if you have credits from another institution, those can be transferred over as well. In addition to the certificate and associates, we also provide a third-party certification. This is through the Swiss American Watchmakers Training Alliance, or SATA for short. That is a widely accepted industry certification and can be valuable for finding positions in this industry. And lastly, watchmakers are always learning. So even after you graduate, you can expect to receive extra training either from your employer or from the companies that your employer works with. So oftentimes you can do some traveling to learn more or to fine-tune your skills. So as far as career paths go, we see most graduates going into one of two pathways. The first one is service center watchmaking. Okay, so here you're working in an environment that is almost 100% focused on the repair. You do very little customer-facing interactions. Depending on your employer, you may be working on a single company's lineup of watches, or you may even be working on a single company's single model within their lineup. The other pathway is as a retail store watchmaker. This can be pretty fun. This is what I did for a number of years. At the retail store level, you engage with customers. You're also dealing with store managers, salespeople. It's a really fast-paced, challenging environment, but it also forces you to learn really quickly and be adaptable. So at the store level, you're typically dealing with many different brands. As well, you have to be good at juggling many different types of repairs. So it really keeps you on your toes. As I mentioned, positions are available across the country. When you're in the program, we'll notify you of positions that we hear about through the school. We have a lot of employers reaching out to us directly. And as well, we have a strong association with a number of major watch brands, and they'll notify us of positions that they have either at their service center or through their business partners. Within the Seattle area, two major employers are Benbridge Jeweler, which has retail stores as well as their own corporate service center. And as well, Omega, which is part of the Swatch Group. Omega has a service center in the downtown area. Now, salaries, right out of school, you can expect around 50 to 55K, especially within the Seattle area. There are a lot of openings elsewhere. So sometimes if you're willing to relocate to an area that has a lower cost of living, that 50 to 55K can actually be quite nice when you have lower living costs. With a few years of experience under the belt, one can expect their salary to rise. It's pretty common to see say roughly 5 years of experience going up to 65 to 80K. If you're living in, say, New York, where there are some major watch brands located, you can easily go higher than that. Right, so entry into the program is competitive. We do not have many spots available each year. We can accept up to 12 students, and typically we get like 50 to 60 applications a year. So we do have an application process that involves some testing. And if you meet a certain threshold, then you will be accepted into the program. So that process starts by submitting an application form and personal statement, but basically telling us why you're interested in learning watchmaking. And then we get into an online mechanical comprehension exam, just to assess where you're at in your ability to reason through mechanical concepts. And then we have an in-person bench test that occurs in our classrooms. So you spend a whole day doing a number of written and practical exercises. And then once that bench test is completed, we can then make a decision on your application. Right, so here's an example of one of the mechanical questions that would come up in our bench test. So let's take a minute to look at this question and see if we can come up with an answer, and then we'll see if that answer is right. So here we have a picture showing 3 different gears or wheels. Okay. We start with wheel A. If that's turning clockwise, which direction will wheel C turn? And then we have some multiple choice options. So let's see if we can come up with an answer here. Okay, well, let's see what the answer is. All right, so here, the solution is that wheel C is turning clockwise, okay? So here, if one were to reason through this, wheel A is turning clockwise, wheel A is touching B, so B is actually going clockwise as well. And then wheel B is touching wheel C, so wheel C is turning clockwise. All right, so here's another one. We have a ball that's suspended from a cable in a train car. Which direction is this train car going? Let's see if we can solve this one. Okay, thanks, Rachel. Okay, so yes, the train is moving to the left. Okay, so being able to reason through these types of situations, show a certain understanding for how things work mechanically, and that is one of the key sort of attributes we're looking for when somebody applies to the program. Is if they're presented with some parts of a watch, are they able to reason through and determine what is going on inside the watch? Okay, so good job there. You are halfway to being a master watchmaker already. All right, so some frequently asked questions that we get about the program. One is, can I work while taking classes? We do have students that are working part-time. So even though this is a full-time program, students can find time either in the evenings or on the weekends to work. Students are also eligible for scholarships. There are scholarships through North Seattle College, through the Seattle Colleges Foundation, as well as third-party scholarships through watchmaking organizations. So, hopefully, you don't have to work part-time. We can try to see if there are funds available for you. It's very common to for scholarships to not be used up from year to year. Even though these scholarships are specific to our students, we have students that forget to apply or don't apply, so the funds are left on the table. So if you're in our program, we'll try to steer you towards accessing funds that are available to you. Okay. Do students need to bring any equipment or materials? So because students are spending so much time in class, typically we provide, we provide a lot of the equipment and tools that would be needed for learning the tasks. One aspect of our program is that students purchase a toolkit when they enter the program. So it's part of the overall program cost. And I'll get into that. So those tools that are in the toolkit are yours to keep once they're paid for. And they'll include things like screwdrivers, tweezers, more advanced tools that are involved in adjusting and repairing watches. So that's a nice bit of kit to hold on to. Now with homework, students are in class 36 hours a week, so there's very little homework. There are a couple short essay projects. There's some math assignments, but on average, there's less than 30 minutes of homework to do each week. A lot of the instruction is practical. And so, we're relying on you being in class and, soaking up the knowledge that we're teaching and having that be the main bulk of what you're learning here. Regarding tours of the classrooms, before COVID, we used to do a lot of in-person tours, just myself or another instructor and the individual. We are doing virtual tours now. So if you're interested in doing something over Zoom or FaceTime, we can set that up. It usually takes around 30 minutes, and I can show you across our 2 classrooms. We have a first year and a second year side. And then as well, we have some supporting rooms, and I can talk about what the differences are as you go through the program, as well as what to expect. So yeah, no pressure. If you're interested in that tour, just reach out to me and I'm happy to do that. I have my direct email up here as well as the program email, and they both work fine. Now, regarding program costs, these are posted on the North Seattle College website. If you go to the Watch Technology Institute page, we have the certificate at 164 credits is roughly $19,000, and that covers that includes the toolkit fee as well as courses for the whole 2-year program. Okay. For the associate's degree option, that is $21,000. And again, that includes the toolkit fee, all the watch technology courses, and the 4 extra gen ed courses that would be required for that degree. So let's see, that's pretty much it for my presentation. Are there any questions for me? All right, no questions. Well, again, I'm happy to chat via phone or by email. We get inquiries all throughout the year, even during breaks, and I'm always happy to answer them. So don't hesitate if you have any questions. All right, thank you.